Advantage to being big if you're a leaf, to get more sun, and there's a survival advantage in dividing into segments so that you're less vulnerable to hurricane winds. So possibly in 100,000 years, all the leaves will look like this, which will make them much less vulnerable to the wind. If not, I'll refund everyone's money. Now the smaller leaves are edible, and they are chewy. They will thicken a soup. What other plant did we have that was a thickener?
Mallow.
Mallow. Same thing, but with a really nice flavor. In Louisiana, they dry out the leaves, grind them into a powder, and the powder is called filet powder. Anyone know what filet powder is used for? Gumbo. And last year, I didn't have filet powder. I wanted to make gumbo. I figured they didn't have electric blenders in 1800 in Louisiana, so I took a handful of leaves like this, put them in a blender with some hot soup stock. I just finished making soup. I poured some of the soup stock into the blender, turned it on. It became thick and gooey. I poured it back into the soup, and I had gumbo that way. It's a wonderful thickener. And I've also coated the leaves with the kinds of coatings I put on both the common plantain and the bitter dock, and made sassafras chips. Now what we want to find are little sassafras trees. The thing about this tree is it can't grow in the shade. So that sassafras up there, see the three leaves?
Oh, yeah.
That's about as big as it gets. If there are taller trees above it, it's going to, yeah, that's sassafras too. What we want to do is find a few about this big that are growing in the shade. Those are going to die, and we want to get the roots of those. I'm going to look in here. Everyone help me look around. See if there's any small ones. And we'll get the roots out. Okay, here we go. I need a couple of people, 2 people to help me pull out the root, and then I'll show it to you. 2 strong people.
Well.
Grab on here and we'll pull. 1. Okay. 2, 3. A couple more people.
Who wants to try ripping it
Who
out?
wants to help us? These are all going to die, and you'll love them. 1, 2, 3. No, this isn't. 1, 2, 3. No, let's look for a smaller one. That's not coming up.
Yeah.
Oops. Is that your tea that dropped out?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Everyone smell this. That's not fair. You wash off a root like this, boil it in a gallon of water, covered for 20 minutes, and you have a delicious tea. Chill the tea and add chilled sparkling water and a sweetener, and you have root beer. And what I discovered with this, it's this incredible culinary seasoning. We need some water to wash off the dirt. Who has some water handy? Just pour a little water over the root. Let's wash it off. That's a paper mulberry, not edible. Okay. Now watch this. See, I peeled off a little layer here. Try this little bit. It's about the equivalent of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Here, break off tiny pieces and pass them out. Yeah, so I put this in the spread that I used on the bitter dock. You can put this in any kind of sweet recipe from smoothie on down. Use it as a seasoning like cinnamon. Take the tiniest bit. That's actually too much. That you don't have on the West Coast, do you?
I don't think so.
It's incredibly common here, and as long as you find it in the shade,
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. They're eating a lot of it. They use it as spread, fresh or dry. No one's done this before. It's before me. I don't know why. What?
Why does it need to be in the
Because then it's going to die anyway.
It tastes like
Excuse me? No one has used this as a culinary seasoning. It is incredible culinary seasoning. I put this in all kinds of desserts, spreads, and dips. It's wonderful. You tasted it.
Yeah, it tastes like black
Licorice, cinnamon, anise, and root beer.
Talking about the root of the sassafras, right?
The cambium, the outer layer, the white layer under the bark, that's called the cambium. That has the living cells. The bark, which is incredibly thin on the sassafras, is dead, and the inner wood is dead. There, you got one. Yeah, and there's more. You see them over there. Also, if you make tea from the root or root beer, use it over and over and over again. It doesn't lose its strength.
Wait, how do you identify it?
Yeah. It lasts basically forever. It's an incredible, it was used by the Native Americans. There are two dangers to this. First of all, it can hit really, really hard in the pocketbook. The explorers in the 1500s brought it over from Europe, from America, where it's native, to Europe. They made a lot of money selling it as a health drink. They kept bringing over more and making more and more claims until finally they claimed it cured everything. Everything, unfortunately, includes syphilis and gonorrhea. And suddenly, anyone seen holding up a cup of sassafras tea was suspected of having an STD. The bottom dropped out of the sassafras market, the bubble burst, and people who'd spent their life savings shipping it from America to Europe lost everything. And to make matters worse, in recent times, the Food and Drug Administration took sassafras off the market. You are not allowed to sell sassafras. They discovered to their horror that if you have the equivalent of only 400 cups of sassafras tea made from artificial concentrate every single day for just 2 years, and you just happen to be a rat, you'll have a higher chance of developing liver cancer. No human has ever gotten sick from sassafras tea, and beer, due to its alcohol content, is 14 times as carcinogenic to humans as sassafras is to rodents. So beer is still on the market. Therefore, the experiment proves two important points. One, there's a stronger beer lobby in Washington than a sassafras lobby. And two, there are a lot of rats in the FDA. Now, other experiments in Kentucky, where sassafras is a traditional beverage, have shown that you take the population, divide it into sassafras drinkers and non-sassafras drinkers, matched by age, race, sex, and income. So everything is the same except the sassafras drinking. And it turned out the sassafras drinkers had lower rates of liver cancer than the non-sassafras drinkers. My hypothesis, which would have to be tested, hypothesis is that sassafras is active in the liver. It's good for you. If you have astronomical amounts of something that's active in the liver for the better part of your lifetime and you happen to be the wrong species, you're going to have liver damage. Whether liver damage is caused by a massive overdose of sassafras or by alcoholism and cirrhosis of the liver or by hepatitis, which damages the liver, you're going to have a higher chance of developing liver cancer. So I think this is totally, completely safe. And you can pick as much as you want. Let me show you the bark of the sassafras so you can recognize it in the winter. Yeah, it has vertical ridges. Everyone see that? And it looks like someone cut horizontally. So you want to get the root. I see some right behind the big tree. Here, who wants one? This one with maybe 2 or 3 people should be easy to get. Anyone want that one?
There's one right here that started to pull.
Okay, get some friends to help you.
Well, I already got one.
You got the
trying to
root.
get it
Okay, who
I'll
wants,
pull.
This one.
I'll help you pull.
who wants that one?
I do.
Help yourself. Easier if you get someone to help you. You know, it might be there's a huge one back there. But this one, 2 people might be able to get. I do one per tour. I injure my back.
Oh no. Is wild onion not in season right now?
Probably not. You may see some of the seeds on top still, but most of them have fallen down. The last